Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Z2X. I'm joined again by,
X, Gen X, aka mom.
yeah, and uh, s- as you said before we started, sorry
Well,
for
I'm
yeah,
like, hello, that was a pause. Yeah, we have not been on for over a month because of conflict in our schedules. I
Mhm.
mean, we've been busy, we've got so much going on. So we're probably going to start doing it every 2 weeks from after this. And after this, we're going to do a really old anime um
Series. Yeah,
yeah, series. We're going to talk about that. But today we are going to talk about
the Amazing Digital Circus, specifically the ending.
yes,
Um,
yes.
we
So the
yeah,
story, what do you want to say? Do you want to say
yeah,
anything
yeah.
about that?
I was gonna say, we waited a little bit to do it because there was so much like I guess
Yeah.
weirdly negative fan sentiment online and people I'm the best way to say is acting super emotional and shit about it. Pardon my French.
Yeah. Yeah.
That we felt like it was best to like like watch it, dwell on it, and then come back to it like a little bit later to see
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
people's.
Because we've been watching it when it was on YouTube.
Yeah.
I watched it when it first was on YouTube and I sent it to you.
Yep.
And which is funny that I thought, oh, you would like this. And then when it got on Netflix, we really both got into it and watched it every time they
Yeah,
dropped
and that
episodes.
was 2024.
Yeah. And but the first one was on YouTube was 2023 in October. And remember I sent it to you and I said, "Oh my gosh, check this out. This is such a cool series." And they were small indie company that was doing the animations, and I
Yes.
just really liked the story. It was just a cool story. I still like it. I think it's really cool. The characters are it's just a cool story in my personal opinion. And it goes back to, let me look down and give you guys a full thing. So they have, it's hard to give you a synopsis of what it was. So this girl, her name's Pommy, but it's not really her name. You find out later. Pommy is trapped in this like circus, crazy circus type theme world with all these weird characters that look crazy and weird. But she was like, I remember being a human, but she kind of does, but she kind of doesn't. And then all of these people are like, "Oh, we're trapped here. We can't get out." And so they're
Yeah.
always constantly
It's
trying to get out.
it's
But the
almost a little bit
ringleader,
like it's a little bit almost like the Matrix in that way
yeah,
where it's
yeah,
like
but
you're
and the
stuck in the
ringleader,
simulation.
yeah, you're stuck in a sim. But the ringleader is Kane, which is like this talking teeth.
It's like a
And
AI.
yeah, yeah, but we don't know that until the end, Alan.
No, no,
Remember,
no, no, no,
it's
no,
just
no. He's explicitly said to be an AI, and then they're all
I
real. But
don't
then
think so.
yeah, no, it was said since like the beginning that he was a AI, and they've
Huh, I
referred to
don't
him as an
remember that
AI.
part.
Yeah,
But yeah, but he's kind of dictates what because he wants it to be quote unquote fun and crazy. So they always have to do all of these
adventures.
oh, adventures. He calls them adventures, but they're actually like torturing him because he doesn't understand what is fun and what's not. And they still have their human kind of thought process of what's fun and how they live their life, but they don't remember it. Anyway, so all the characters are really fun. I found them fun. I found all of the whole series fun. They have Pomni, which is the one that's kind of the it's she's the center.
She's the main character,
Yeah.
where other
And then
characters are shown to
Ragatha,
Ragatha. Yeah,
uh Jax, which is
I'd
the
say
negative
I
one.
consider Dutra protagonist because he's like he's the objective second most important character in the entire
Yeah,
series,
exactly. Yeah, I think so
where
too.
most of the
And
conflict
then
comes from.
Kinger, Kane, and then Zubli. Is it Zubul or Zubli?
Zubul.
Zubul, Gangly,
Or,
Gangle, and Kaufmo is I
so the
don't.
other ones were, if you remember, the a lot of the other characters are like posthumous, like dead
Yeah,
already.
that's what I was gonna say. But Gangle isn't. Gangle was alive, but
No,
Kaufmo
Kaufmo
is.
was the clown, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
And then I don't know which other they call also like Bubble, which is oh yeah. And then they
you,
have that Gummy Go,
Gummy
the
Goo,
alligator guy that
the
actually.
AI.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
because the thing about like
Or NPC,
yeah,
the
because
NPC.
the thing about it is, and I think it's important with the series, it's like it's shown that like Kane is explicitly an AI, is because he doesn't understand what humans find fun, and
That's
characters like
right. That's right.
Zubul are like the ones that like kind of like I guess interrogate him the most of like this like you're not doing this isn't good, like stop doing this,
Yeah, yeah. Zubul is really big about that. And
like
then
negative.
Jax. he doesn't like to do any of it, and he's mean to everybody.
Well,
He's really
because
mean to
he
everybody.
thinks it's a game. Like
Yeah,
because he thinks it's like, oh, we're just in a simulation, so we're just like,
yeah,
so like
and
none of it matters. So I should be able to do
yeah.
whatever the hell I want. Is the
And
idea?
then Pommy and Ragatha become pretty good friends. And but she becomes or Pommy becomes friends with everybody,
Yeah.
truthfully.
Well,
And Kinger, she understands Kinger the most. I
because
think that Pomni and
he's the
Kinger
crazy one.
become, yeah, he's so they have this thing where they glitch, which is funny because that's kind of like the name of the company, right? That
Yeah,
glitch
yeah,
is
that does it.
the indie, the art. Anyway, they basically glitch, and what is it called that they do again? That
Abstract.
they abstract,
It's
yeah. And so
basically
that
like
means
when they corrupt, like if a system file corrupts in a way where it's like they then like if you've ever downloaded something or scratched a disk and it just doesn't work anymore and you're like,
yeah,
ah,
yeah.
shit.
Yeah, exactly. And that's and nobody wants to have that happen to them. And it's scary because they lose their marbles, basically. They
And
go crazy
transform
and
into something completely that's
uh-huh.
not even human anymore, or like
Yeah,
well, they weren't really human, but I mean like because
yeah, they're
they're
not.
like
The
they have
characters are crazy.
avatars, but that's generally the setup of the series, and it's very much a character driven drama where it's like most of the episodes explore like a character, like this character, and Pomni is like the lens that because she's the newest one, where it's like just like how you, the viewer, are new to this, she's also new to it, where you're
Yeah.
able to explore these pre-existing dynamics and the general like
The
what's it, the
relationships,
relationships and
how the
people
rules of this place is.
yeah, and other characters opening up. Basically, she is the vessel that the story is effectively told through mainly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And so and it had how many episodes did it have?
Nine. It had 9 episodes over
9.
3 years.
So, and what was but 9, or does that include the finale?
Yes, that includes the finale. It did not have that
So
many
8
episodes.
episodes though. 8 episodes were on YouTube and Netflix. So if you haven't watched it, you should watch it. The last episode they did a thing that they put it in that
Theaters.
kind of yeah, it was a 50-minute episode, which all of them were pretty long anyway. But it was, and they put it in the theaters before Netflix, which I think after watching it now was probably a mistake. Um not to say that it wasn't good because I think it is good, but it was not theater.
Yeah, and
I think they were
well,
doing it.
the mistake
I was
they
just gonna.
made. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. My bad. There's a little bit of desync on my end, like about half a second, which ends up like
Uh-huh. That's
yeah,
okay. You're okay. Um, but yeah, I think that they did it just because a lot of other like animes are doing a show on in the theater, and but I just don't think it warranted that.
yeah,
And the backlash, because apparently you can go with this
yeah.
story about it. Go ahead.
Because the whole thing about it is one, the series, because so first of all they ended up canceling on Korea because they were going to release it in Korea, but they then were like, oh, we're worried about the
The
series,
movie part,
the
the
movie
last
part, the
episode, yeah.
yeah, to be in theaters, and they broke a contract that the glitch did. And then the Koreans were really sad because they're like, "Oh, you're gonna like leak the thing," because Korea had a history of leaking stuff. However, they haven't done it for a really long time because now they sign basically most companies sign with like a new group is effectively the
Yeah.
way I would describe it.
Uh-huh.
And even Sony goes through them, and so they canceled on the Koreans, which kind of made them really sad. And then it got leaked by it ended up getting leaked by the
Brazilian.
Brazilians. Yep. So the
Yeah.
entire last episode, but in kind of poor
But
quality.
I want to say though the Brazilians lied. I don't what they said was going on, it was not really true. They kind of fabricated some aspects of it. Not all of it wasn't true, but I think it
Yeah.
was so negatively talked about that was not true,
Well, because
in my
wasn't
personal
the
opinion.
Brazilians that lied. It's the fact you got a poor quality dub with certain scenes cut out of it. With
Yeah,
also like basically it's the equivalent of imagine watching a movie, but about 45 minutes at random parts are cut out of it.
yeah, well,
And
that's what I'm
then
saying. They did spoilers, but they weren't even like good spoilers because you have to know the whole entire thing to be able to get it. And so they ruined it. They ruined whoever
yeah,
the spoiler was who did that. They ruined it all. And then the people on X and others jumped in and just
Yeah,
dogpiled on
because
the series.
also it was only in 480p and also in Portuguese, so it's like it was like
Yeah,
with English subtitles, so you a lot was lost in translation as well. Which
yeah,
then, but the thing is, the thing is though, the issue is it would have never happened though if they just didn't, if they just released it normally, and then because they had two
yeah.
weeks between theater release also, so it was leaked before it hit theaters, and they had 2 weeks of it in theaters, and then it finally released on like YouTube, and I'm like, you know what, the series is cool, but the last place I want to be is in a theater with other Amazing Digital Circus fans. No, no offense, but it's definitely
I
more of
don't
an
mind things
online
like that
based
because
series.
it's kind of fun, but that being said, it just wasn't it was
It
50
was, yeah,
minutes.
it
So
wasn't,
what's the I'm not paying $20 to go see a 50-minute
yeah,
thing.
because the theaters they
Um,
included episode 8 and 9 to like extend its
uh-huh.
runtime, but still, it's like I already saw episode 8 on YouTube, so
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
why would I do that?
Why would I do that? But back to the final episode, it was good. I liked it. I think that it was a really, and some people bitched about the ending, like they felt like it just dropped. I don't, I think it tied it all together. I feel like that it explained what was going on. It explained that these were all AI, basically. There were
They
different
were
images.
they're so like the idea is, so the original concept of it and what you think for the entire series, like spoilers, is that they were like transferred in, like imagine like the Matrix where they're hooked up and they're trying to escape, because the big thing is like we're looking for the exit, but the truth
Yeah,
it
yeah,
ends up being is that they're more so like brain, like copies, they're brain
yeah,
scans
yeah.
of these people. So the real people are living their own lives. So it's like they put on a headset, scans your brain, kind of like you would get for an MRI or
Yeah, and they have a
something.
background behind them though, because they have all their personal information. So they have their, so the computer has the brain scan and their background information, and the AI created a character basically
Uh,
within its own
yeah, yeah.
matrix.
So it's like it basically was like assign them like an avatar, and we're like boom. And the whole series it was created. The backstory behind the circus was because Kinger was one of the people that like worked at the company that made it,
Yeah.
and his
Uh-huh.
colleague made this program because he had cancer and wanted to like live on.
Yeah.
With
Which
Scratch.
was
That was
Kane, right?
Scratch was the dog
Oh,
dude was the first
That's right.
one,
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
and then Kane tried to make him happy and forced him like change messing with his brain, which caused him to abstract and like turn into one of these things. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
the the like what I will say is a lot of especially focuses on Jax as a character because he's the one that abstracts like at in the final episode and the one you actually see abstract
Yeah.
and his story because he's very much like all the other characters are well adjusted, but he is not well adjusted from the main fact that it's like when his brain was copied, he was in like the worst part of his life. So it's
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
he's
Yeah,
messed up
so
and he wanted
he's
to
not,
escape
yeah.
reality.
Yeah,
And
and but
yeah,
at the end of the day, I all of the negative reviews on the last episode, I think are wrong.
it's not
I think
perfect, but it's also
it's
not.
no,
It's
but
not
it's
even close to like
what they were saying how bad it was. It's not. I think it was very well done. I did feel like it was kind of there was a little bit missing
there was
that they
definitely
could have
10 more minutes they
they
needed to put in
yeah,
there.
they could have added 10 more minutes, kind of like bridging from the eighth episode to the ninth episode. Was it 9 episodes, right? Is
Yes,
that what
yes,
you're telling
yeah,
me?
you're
So
correct.
yeah, they could have done a little bit more of a bridge between those two episodes, like maybe even a recap. But because they had it in the movie theater with the seventh, eighth, and ninth, I can see
Yeah,
now why they didn't. But
yes, you're
it's
right.
still, to me, I felt like it was maybe 10 minutes they could have added a little bit in between to go get more in Kane and Kinger and like
All
you
these
know,
people, yeah.
yeah, what was happening, because we know that Jax ended up they found out the reality of who they really are, that they're only AI. And before
Yeah.
Jax
And then Jax
went
basically, yeah,
crazy.
he basically literally, the thing that I actually don't like, because I thought it would have been really interesting to see, is that it literally, and it confused me for a second when I watched it, because, the whole thing, because they, in the previous episode, they deleted Kane, because they found
Yeah.
his code and they
Uh-huh.
deleted him.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And where did he come back? So I want to know how he came back. That's
yeah,
exactly what I was
which
thinking.
I was able to, after I watched it, I thought about it for a bit and it made sense, like kind of,
Uh-huh.
but I would have rathered an explicit like this is how it is, because if what
Yeah,
I'm
that's what
thinking
I'm
isn't
talking
correct,
about.
then that would be weird, because the whole thing, and that's what I mean, like an extra 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, is so with Jax, I think it would have been nice to see him actually just walk off, because a lot of people, apparently it wasn't just me, that thought it was like the other abstractions escaping into the circus, until like for about a minute or two, until it was like, oh my god, it's Jax.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
has
and it took me a second too. And I feel like that's where I was saying the 10 minutes needed to kind of do a little bit of a recap, understanding what happened to Kane, and that it was Jax that, even though I love the story that they did in the end with Jax and gave you more an explanation, and then how at the very, very ending after the credits, oh my gosh, that was so sweet. I just thought it was really good. Just again, 10 minutes probably could have been a little bit
Yeah,
added,
because
my
my
personal
theory
opinion.
of why Kane was able to come back, it's kind of like when you put something in a recycle bin on your computer. It's not deleted until you like clear the bin.
Yeah.
So it's
Uh-huh.
like you send it, but it's not like affecting your program at all. So
Yeah.
the idea, I think, is he was sent basically to the recycle bin. But I think it would have been nice to have a little bit more like of how he got out, or maybe Kane redeeming himself a bit more, maybe like a little more focus,
Yeah.
because he's such an important character. And then also
Yeah.
Jax like actually like losing his, because I feel like a scene where he loses his mind, because I know they tried to do like a shock value kind of thing where they're like, oh my god, it's like all of a sudden, but a shock value doesn't really work if I don't understand immediately what happens
Yeah.
when it
Hmm.
happens, unless someone says something like off, because they look, all the abstractions look the same, like it's not like they look like the person. If they looked like the person, it might have
No.
worked better,
Yeah.
but because they don't
Yeah.
all look the exact same, like just monsters, that you don't really get the shock value, which I know they were going for.
Yeah.
um,
I mean,
but
again, at the end of the day, though, it was really good. I'm not going to say it was, a
perfect.
10 out of 10. No, because again, the 10 minutes I would have liked a little bit more, again, recap of figuring out what happened to Kane. But but the storyline, the overall storyline was amazing. I love the idea. I think they did a really good job. I think the art was freaking
Oh, the
phenomenal.
animation really, glitch is actually, and honestly, I feel like that is definitely what got people to watch it in the first place, is because the 3D animation style, if you go from the first to the ninth, it's really incredible, the work they do, the 3D animators that they have
Yeah, and it was
on
only
this.
like how many people were working on this?
Okay, I'm actually gonna look it up, because the thing is, Glitch because of the success of the series, was able to hire way more people. How many people
Oh, got
worked
you.
on the Amazing
And we
Digital
did watch
Circus?
their one, the first episode of the Gaslight District.
Okay, they have
Um,
100 people that they employ between their
oh,
projects, because
okay. That
that
made more sense because I was like, how did they do this with the first six people that were in there in the beginning?
the first episode was 6 or 7 people, so it took like a
Yeah,
longer time, and then
yeah,
also
the
what
first
didn't look
three
as
because
good.
the three were on YouTube.
Well,
I liked it.
it was like they gradually increased. I think it went from like 7 or so people to like 20 to 40, and then as it got bigger, they could hire more, and then that's why like the Gaslight District, which is Glitch's other series, isn't
Yeah.
being worked on yet, because they have the same they share animators.
Oh,
Um,
got you. Okay, okay, I gotcha. I think that'll be fun. It's a different concept, the Gaslight one. Anyway,
yeah,
I the drama. You can talk about quickly. Let's do a
yeah,
quick
yeah.
thing about the drama.
Yeah. So real quick, I'm just gonna say I think the series could have really benefited from a few more episodes. The creator was against filler, but this is a series that I think really would have enjoyed filler. Like kind of like
Yeah,
how we're
I think
watching
people
Cowboy
would have.
Bebop, where it's like you get to
Uh-huh.
learn the characters more through even just sillier adventures and kind of how they view stuff. I think you could have doubled the episodes, and it would have been probably people would have liked it a lot more, because just there's more
Well, yeah,
exploration of the characters.
I think that everybody really liked it. I think that they were just done with the project. They were only it was
The
only
creator,
going to be.
because I'm gonna get into this right here. The creator, Gooseworks, they seem very very nice, but they
Uh-huh.
also don't know when to stop talking to their fans, because they're one of those creators
Yeah.
that like
They want
they're
their hands
Tumblr
on.
based, where they like
Yeah.
talk to their fans all the time, and they cause unneeded like division, because they like say this and then they turn around and say something different, and then they enable the worst people, because there's people that are
Yeah.
terminally online and just absolute lunatics, that they really just enable to the biggest extent, when you just got to not talk to these people, because they're
Yeah. I mean,
literally, They're children. I'm gonna
Go
be honest.
ahead.
They're like
Well, and
16 year
you
olds.
enjoy talking to sometimes the creators, like when you do Wakfu, but it's just very small little glitches and it's very small little time frames. And but the creator is what's her name? The
It's
creator
Gooseworks.
of Gooseworks. I can't remember her name. She was online all the time and was talking because I think that helped her. It just it's her new project. It was her
Yeah,
baby.
well, because when you have a huge project like that, you're like, and you're already terminally online, like kind of person, you're like in those online communities so much, you want to talk because you're already talking to people online, right? So you're just like, oh my God, I get to talk to people about, but it's my thing that I'm talking about, and
Yeah,
people love
yeah.
this.
Mhm.
But then people, they become parasocial about projects, is the
Oh
issue.
my God, yeah. And parasocial, when you get the parasocial connection with your group of people that follow you, it can be it can be a
Yeah.
downgrade for
And
you. It's not really healthy, I think, in a lot of
no, it
ways
is not healthy, and that's what I think that it ended up actually
for the
taking
people and the creators. You know what I mean?
into the project too. I think that the series, she probably could have done more with it, but because it was like so like I'm done with this, I just want to like I think that she almost loathes her project in a way, which sucks. But the thing is, the
Well,
sad part
after
is
all
it's
the
drama.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was gonna
Yeah, I was
yeah
just gonna say all that drama. That's exactly
the
what I was gonna take it
the
with. All the stupid drama with the people, the leaks, and they were making it worse than it wasn't as bad as all those people were saying at all. It
yeah
wasn't.
the
Um,
what I will say also, it's the issue is that, and that's what makes it sad, is it's entirely preventable. It's very
yeah. Hmm.
preventable because when, for example, I've spoken to some of the guys, like the Wakfu things, because they do like Q&A and stuff.
Yeah. That's what I was
But
thinking
that's
about.
a
That.
company that is, then they do very small segments under like PR. Or I've
Yeah.
talked with the guy who does the Risk of Rain music, Chris Chrisodoulou. And he
Uh-huh.
pops in, every now and then. It's like, hey, and you're able to ask a few questions, like, love your work, blah, 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 this. But they pop in, and then they're like, then they've got their own shit. They don't stay online. They're like,
Yeah.
hello, people that enjoy my work.
Let me answer some questions and then I'm out of here.
Yeah, and then I'm
Like that.
yeah, and then I'm out of here. Which I say that if you're ever an online creator, do what Toby Fox does. He's the creator of Undertale and Deltarune. He
Uh-huh.
doesn't speak at all. He speaks a little bit to his Japanese fans, but he
Uh-huh.
doesn't. He avoids really his fans at all. He talks through like almost like proxies in a way,
Oh
um,
yeah.
to people, because I he's very much a weeaboo like kind of dude that like imitates a lot of the Jap, because he's very big on like, and he's even invited to a lot of these Japanese parties with like other
Uh-huh.
creators of Japanese stuff. And they consider him like one of their own. And I think because that's how the Japanese do. They're very like oftentimes closed off or speak very literally, when they do speak. And I think that's
Uh-huh.
the best for him, because a lot of his fans are very terminally on. They're the same kinds of fans of like the Amazing Digital Circus, where they're very terminally online and can be very toxic, right? So
Yeah.
he doesn't, and he appreciates his fans, but he just doesn't speak to them really. Like he's just like,
Yeah, he doesn't
enjoy
like
my
go
work.
into
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Yeah. And I think that's what went wrong. Now I'm looking at the IMDb and it had 8.2 out of 10, which is I think that I would have said 8 out of 10 also. It would have been a 10 if they just had a little 10 more minutes at the last episode. I would have been maybe even 15 more minutes. I would have been a 9 out of 10,
yeah.
maybe even a 10 out of 10, because the storyline itself was amazing. It was a
And the
freaking
concept is great.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, the concept and the storyline, the characters, they did a really good job. I liked it
Yeah,
all.
it
I
was
mean,
a
it was a
contemporary retelling of "I Have No
yeah.
Mouth, I Must Scream." So if anyone knows that story, it's literally like an evil AI nukes everyone and then keeps like six people alive to torture them, and it's basically a the Gooseworks said that is their like main inspiration for the series, was that, and the
Oh
Truman
yeah, it
Show a bit
was.
too.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was gonna say the Truman Show, but that's the I have no mouth,
Yeah, I
so
have
I
no
can't
mouth.
speak.
I have no mouth. By the way, if anyone wants to read it, it's literally like 6 pages long. It's a very
Yeah,
short
it's
story,
a very
but
short. It's old. It's been around for a very
it's
long
like
time.
almost 100 years old at this point.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, so that was it. And so our next review will be Bebop Cowboy, and we're watching it right
Yeah,
now. And
Cowboy
we
Bebop.
actually
Yeah, that.
Cowboy Bebop. That's right. It is fun, but we'll do a review of that now. But we just wanted to touch base. Or sorry, we've been so crazy busy. It's summertime and lots of travels and
Yeah,
work,
and
different
other
works going
stuff like
on.
that. But
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
say is, I would rate the entire Digital Circus about an 8 out of 10. It's
yeah. That's what I
it's
saw.
it's a, you can nitpick it because there's some parts of the story that I think could be, better, but it is a
Yeah.
flawed but great series where you're not like, you're
Yeah,
like,
that's how I feel too. Yeah.
yeah, it is deeply flawed in a lot of ways, but did I enjoy watching it? 100%. I just
I don't think it's
I
deeply
or
flawed,
well,
but
what I
it
mean,
does
sorry, not
have
deeply
some flaws.
flawed, but like it's
Yeah.
flawed, but you can still enjoy it. Like if you're nitpicking every little flaw thing, but I think
Yeah.
I think you'll still have a fun time watching. It's free on
Oh,
YouTube. Just
totally.
you can
Yeah.
watch it on YouTube. Like it's
Yeah. Watch it
no
on
cost to
YouTube.
you.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You don't even have to watch it on Netflix. I definitely love the I think they're brilliant storyline, awesome animation. Um as an adult, I actually really enjoyed it because of the it is a deeper, definitely not for kids, I don't think, but teenagers are fine. But I enjoyed the
I'd say tweens and up
mind.
is
Yeah,
definitely.
I enjoyed the mind play that it was playing. It's getting you along. So yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
I
I
would say,
agree.
yeah, about an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like just watch it and have fun. If
And
you
don't
as
listen to the crap hype that came with it.
Yeah,
I'm glad we waited to before we
avoid,
did it.
yeah, yeah, that's why whenever I play something or do something, I always avoid the fan sentiment first. When I played the new Deltarune chapter, I didn't look at Twitter and I got my own opinion, and some people were like, I hate this, and I'm like, you know what, I played it on my own, I disagree. And that's what I feel like
Yeah.
whenever you watch something is you gotta take your own, watch it first, make your own sentiment, because if you let other people corrupt your thoughts, then like then
Yep.
you might enjoy something a lot less that you would have enjoyed. So like,
Yeah. And that I didn't listen to them. I just went, I'm just gonna watch it. I don't care. I'm gonna ignore the X
yeah,
weirdness that
the
came
X
out of
crowd,
it.
the Tumblr crowd.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Anyway, so watch it, Digital Circus. I think it was amazing. I think that Glitch did a good job. And I can't wait to see what their
Yeah,
Gaslight District's gonna be
they
like
have
too.
Gaslight District, they have something of Guinevere, Knights of Guinevere, and then
But the
Lackadaisy are
Gaslight, yeah,
the four
but
cities.
and Meta Runner. But the Gaslight
Meta
District
Runner's
is
an
the
old
new
one.
one.
Meta
Oh
Runner
yeah, yeah,
already did.
yeah.
That was like one
Oh,
of their
it's
first.
really yeah.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
first things they did that
Yeah.
gave them
So
enough money. But
right now they're doing Knights of Guinevere, right?
yeah, Knights of Guinevere, which is 2D animated by, I think it was
And
someone that
then
used to work at Disney that
and
made it.
then the Gaslight District is not for sure. They just did the pilot episode, but
But
we'll
it's been
see. I'm
greenlit.
gonna
It's
guess.
been greenlit
Yeah.
already. So
Yeah.
that's the
And
one
it
that is closest in visual style, and it's
yeah.
that one I would also recommend. You should give that one a watch.
That one
Just
I
20
actually
minutes.
didn't mind that one at all. I thought it was I thought it was pretty good. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
that's
that's
all.
it.
We'll see you
We'll
guys
see you in
later.
2 weeks then.
Toodaloos.
Bye.
Bye.